Edward Leos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the Hotel Guide publisher, Edward Leos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Really excited about today's guest. Got a chance to talk to Amy, I think a week or so ago offline, talking about her business, everything she's doing in the hospitality industry. And I was like, you know what? I need to have her on the show. And so, Amy, it's so happy to have you here on Travel Talk.
Thank you so much, Edward. I'm excited to be here. I'm a big fan and excited to have a conversation.
Oh, that's good. I'm excited too. I think our guests are going to love learning more about what you do in your business. And so with that, I know they always ask you like, well, who are you talking to, Edward? Tell us a little bit about that person. So why don't you give us the update on how you got to where you are, and then we'll kind of get into the business and some other cool questions.
Yeah, so I hope I'm not too long-winded, but I resonate with my own story because it's such a zig and zag. And at the time, I felt a little bit lost, and now I look back and I'm really grateful for every step. But I like to call myself a hotelophile, if you will, as well as a francophile. But always loved hotels and traveling. I'm one of those people that just rabbit hole into hotel and destination, but really didn't know how to connect that with a bigger, with employment, with my job. And so was working on the supply side of hospitality in Miami back around 2007, selling vodka to hotels. And that was a fun job.
I can imagine.
And then the recession hit. And then I found myself working on cruise ships, which I never in a million years thought I would do. I was the port and shopping guide. So I was helping people shop when we got to our ports of call. And very fast paced, very high stress, exciting. But I started to feel, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a sand in my pearl, if you will. Something was bugging me. And I was just starting to kind of look around and say, why is there this disconnect between how we're protecting the ocean, because we are on ships, and the communities that we're visiting? And why is that, why are we not taking better care? So I came back home to Columbus, Ohio, and got a sustainable business and wildlife management degree. And then just started going to every sustainable luxury hotel in the destination that we were planning a vacation in, or my husband would have business travel. And I garnered so much knowledge. I was able to talk to the general managers and other stakeholders and find out what was working, what their motivation was for even taking this on, and just really gained so much great market research. And so then I just thought, this is it. I was approaching 40, and I was like, if I'm going to really dig my heels into something, it's got to be something I'm passionate about. And I'm really passionate about nature and animals and about travel and hospitality. And I believe in my heart that we can really solve a lot of the problems that we have with our environment right now, and create better business models and turn that traveler then into more of a protector or a conservationist, if you will. And so that's how my business was born. I did start it right before COVID. So that was a lot challenging, but it gave me time to really figure out who I wanted to work with, how I wanted to work with them. And so now we help independent luxury hotels connect with that conscious traveler in a way that doesn't burden their teams, that really becomes a business advantage through video storytelling, guest engagement strategies, and really easy, streamlined certification processes.
That's awesome. I love the story. I mean, I'd heard it before, so it's great that you're telling it to our readers and to our listeners right now. But sustainability is just such a huge thing nowadays. I think sustainability, experiential travel, you actually start combining those two. They are just one and the same, because people not only are wanting to go, just go to properties and destinations anymore. There's now that experiential side where they're like, I kind of want to leave this place a little bit better than before. And so many travelers are looking for sustainable options in where they stay and also the destinations they go to. What big things do you have on tap for your business coming up that or just, what are some things coming up for you guys?
Yeah, so we've got some exciting things happening on YouTube. Can't reveal it all right now, but some really exciting brand partnerships, really, highlighting those visionary hotels who are making this happen right now and capturing that guest and that ADR, because there is a willingness to pay, really just creating those stories, like you're saying, that experiential travel. I think what we're doing is we're siloing all of the components of really what sustainability is.
Mhm.
So just simplifying it, and making it really customized for that hotel. So yeah, we're going to do a lot of stuff more on the video side. And I think that's what drives business. And one of those things that I can tell you is that in-room media asset. So we're working with a lot of hotels right now. In our market research, we found that the hotels that were connecting the best with the guests were the ones that were telling the story in the room, on the television, not a bunch of pop-up tent cards and things slapped on the
Yeah.
mirrors. That just takes away with the experience. How do you really capture them emotionally is through that in-room media asset. So that is something we're focused on a lot right now.
Oh, that's going to be great. I think you're right. You have a captured audience when you're in there. The first thing you turn the TV on and you're like wondering where to go. But when you have those messages in there, it's really a very dynamic opportunity for guests to kind of learn more about the property and what they're doing. Plus, I think a lot of people who go to the properties want to know just what's unique about where they're staying as well. And so it's not just about, the nice bar, the nice restaurant, but it's like, what are you doing to kind of protect the environment and also make your stay a little bit more enjoyable at the same time. So those are all cool things.
And you know what? Something I wanted to mention about that, Edward, is the guest wants to travel, even if they aren't someone who's actively looking for volunteerism or, maybe hands-on giving back. When you can confirm and put the guest's mind at ease that we're doing the work, and you can have confidence that you're spending money with us and we're going to leave a place better, you just give them one less thing to worry about and more confidence in your brand. So it's like, even if you don't think they're the ones that are actively seeking, active activities that give back, they still want to know that it's happening so they can travel, and it's one less thing they worry about.
No, that's awesome. I love what you're doing with the company. We'll get back to some of the business stuff in a minute, but I always like to ask my guests a couple of personal questions in reference to travel. We'll keep it there.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite travel destinations that you've been to so far?
Oh gosh. I mean, I have so many on my bucket list. And when I was looking at a map the other day, I was like, how can I accomplish all of this in my lifetime? But I'll tell you, Tahiti was one of those bucket list quintessential tropical destinations that exceeded my expectations. And I'll tell you the other thing it did. That was when I was first in the ideation stage of my business.
Yeah.
And they implement something called SWAG, seawater air conditioning. And so they drill deep down into the ocean, extract cold water, and that's how they get their air conditioning for the hotels. And so I was learning about this. So it has a very special meaning to me in addition. But I mean, the beauty of Tahiti, French food, French wine, beautiful people, and then that incredible Polynesian history. It's like, gosh, it doesn't get much better than that. I am a French lover through and through. I don't know where that came from because I grew up in Washington Courthouse. If anybody knows where that is, just a little hick town in Ohio. But anywhere in France, really. But Marseille, we visited in the south of France a few years ago, and that was just like epic. And we recently went to Anegada, which is a little remote, tiny island in the British Virgin Islands. And we stayed in these beautiful palapas, almost like glamping, but it was like truly unplugged, no electronics, hear the ocean, read a book, take in nature. It was incredible.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I haven't been to Tahiti yet, but you're definitely could be a salesperson for the destination. So
Uh,
speaking of, that's on my bucket list. But what are some of the things on your bucket list for travel?
I'm dying to go to Montenegro.
Okay.
Uh, and the only thing I can point to, I've never been to that part of the world, but there was a James Bond movie, which I'm a James Bond nut. There was a James Bond movie that they were in Montenegro. So I think that like stuck with me.
Yeah.
And then recently I started seeing, I was watching Rick Steves and he was talking about Romania, which is close. And oh my gosh, Romania looks gorgeous. I never knew that. The other place that I am dying to go, but one of those things we're gonna have to take out a loan just to go, is Shintamani Wild. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Never
it.
heard of that.
It is in Cambodia, and a gentleman named Bill Bensley, who is known as the Willy Wonka of hospitality, created these incredible sustainable retreats that really are built into nature. It's all conservation based. He's worked on like brands like Six Senses and Rosewood, but he has curated like these incredible tents up in the forest,
Wow.
over the river, and I'm dreaming of that. So those are the ones on my list right now.
You're the first person to mention Cambodia as their bucket list out of all my guests. So that's kind of a cool thing. I remember some of the things that our guests say, and you get the standard ones, but that's a unique experience. I can't wait to hear what it's going to be like on.
Yeah. Pray for me. I've got it on my vision board and I'm visualizing it.
That's good. Well, that's what you got to do. So any final thoughts with regards to the business? Best ways for people to kind of contact you or find the company online? What's the best way for that?
Yeah, I mean, GreenLuxe with an E, inc.com. We'd love your support. We, as I mentioned, we are really putting a lot of effort into YouTube. So we would love to subscribe there. Visit me, Amy Wald, on LinkedIn. But what is really valuable is if I can hear from hoteliers what they need. What do they need in their sustainability journey? Mm-hmm. That helps me curate content and really be valuable to them. And if you're a hotelier out there that is doing incredible things and you want to tell your story, please, we'd love to tell your story also. I think storytelling gets overused, but I think that's how we take sustainability as this like really complex and just boring subject and turn it into something that it could be, which is really exciting and a way to connect with your employees and guests.
No, definitely. Travel is an emotional thing. And so why wouldn't your marketing or your PR be that emotional as well? And so you want guests to understand why you're doing it and the purpose behind things. And sometimes having it on a sales sheet or something like that just doesn't convey that. And so seeing the visual word and the photos with it really align with what you're doing, it sounds like. So it's been great having you on the show today, Amy. I want to thank you for taking the time to be on Travel Talk.
Thank you very much. It was an honor, and I love the work you're doing, and I just appreciate the time.
It's perfect. Thank you so much. Well, to all of our listeners, readers, and guests out there, you know the drill. Follow us at thehotelguide.com. Also, please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's important. We'll have Amy's information in the comments as well, so you can follow her on her YouTube channel as well as find GreenLuxe at their website as well. But again, we want to thank everybody for listening today. Some great content in here in reference to sustainability, the importance of that and experiential travel combining together. But again, we always like to say travel and make memories. And until next time, everybody, take care.